Friends, who is actually at risk of being denaturalized? That's the subject in this video. Stay tuned. Friends, thanks for watching this video. I'm Latoya McBean-Pompey, an immigration lawyer in New York, and I'm also founder of Smart Immigration Academy. Guys, you can find me on Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, LinkedIn at McBean Immigration Law. And then certainly subscribe to this channel if you haven't done so yet, and hit the notification bell so that when I put out my videos, which is very frequently these days, you don't miss any of them. I look forward to having you as part of my community and stay plugged into everything that I'm doing on this end. So let's get into denaturalization. Denaturalization is something that I covered a couple of years ago when it was just an idea that Trump threw out there, right? That, oh, all these people got their green card and then citizenship the wrong way, and it's time for us to go after them and strip them of citizenship and get them out of the country. That was just, an idea a couple of years ago. Fast forward to now, and the government has actually taken some very strong steps towards this. They have a denaturalization unit, an office that's devoted only to the denaturalization process, and they have been litigating and bringing these denaturalization cases in court and stripping people of their citizenship. And so I want to talk with you in this video about a process that's called revocation, because in order to strip a person of citizenship, or naturalization I should say, it's really called revocation. You're revoking, taking back that citizenship from the person. And so there's 4 things that the government must prove against a person who they're seeking to denaturalize. And so let's go through those 4 things right now. The first thing that the government must prove is that the naturalized citizen misrepresented or they concealed a fact. And that fact, friend, is an important fact that the government should have known about. And so the government must prove that you've lied or you held back information from them that was important information when they were considering your application for citizenship. Secondly, the misrepresentation or concealment was willful. You knew about it, you did it, you decided to do it anyway. It was willful, you did it on your own volition, and that's the second thing the government must prove. Thirdly, the government must prove that the misrepresentation or concealed fact, it was material. It was important. It was very, very important to the decision of making you a naturalized citizen. And so, for example, if you misrepresented or hid something about your physical presence, because you guys know you must have maintained a certain physical presence in the U.S. during a certain time period before you became a citizen. And then there's also another requirement called continuous presence. Or if you hid something very important regarding your character, your moral character, that the government did not catch when it was doing its background check on you. So those are some things that the government considers very material to the decision of whether to have granted you citizenship or not. And then the fourth thing that the government must prove is that the citizen obtained citizenship as a result of the misrepresentation or concealment. So ultimately the person became a U.S. citizen only because he lied or she concealed something. And so those are the 4 things that the government must prove when it seeks to revoke citizenship or naturalization from a person. And so, as I've mentioned, this is now in process. The unit is bringing cases against people, and so these are the people who they're going after. And then also you should know that they're going after people who they clearly know had obtained naturalization through misrepresentation or concealment of something that was very important. People who they know about, and they have their ways of knowing these things, right? Traditionally speaking, friends, denaturalization has always been going on, but on a very, 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 very small scale. The government was mainly focused in the past on going after war criminals, people who were Nazi, right? And they came to the U.S. and they changed their identity, and ultimately they became a U.S. citizen. And so the government loved going after those kinds of people, or they were war criminals back in the early 90s in Europe, and they committed certain atrocities against humanity. and they've since became a US citizen. Those people the government went after. But now they've expanded it and it's broader now, but you need to understand the 4 things that they must prove in order to revoke your citizenship. And so, friends, I hope you found this video helpful. Share it with other people. And guys, I will see you in the next one. Thanks for watching. Bye-bye.